The impressive Cala Pass winds its way up a deep cleft in the mountains north of the village of Cala, gaining 335 meters in altitude over 7.3 kilometers, producing a gradient of 1 in 22, with some sections getting as steep as 1 in 9. This is a reasonably safe road for most vehicles, but it is a high-altitude pass and is subject to winter snowfalls, heavy summer electrical storms and regular mountain mists. It's one of the 4 passes along the R410 route between Queenstown and Elliot, forming a set of giant stepping stones towards the high-altitude part of the Eastern Cape around Elliot, now known as Kawa. Summiting at 1,519 meters above sea level, this is high-altitude stuff, and snow occurs here regularly in winter, where bitterly cold temperatures can be experienced. The town of Cala is close to the start of the pass, and the more substantial town of Elliot is found some 20 kilometers north of the pass, after joining the R56. This often forgotten part of the Eastern Cape bears a long and troubled history and had a profound influence on the development of South Africa in the 17 to 1900s. As you exit the town of Cala, the road enters an easy and wide right-hand bend as the road follows the eastern bank of a small tributary of the Tsomo River, which flows southwards towards the major storage dam, the Nkora. The road then curves back to the left and crosses the river at an intersection with a T-junction leading off to the right. From the start, the large mountain at 1,527 meters looms dead ahead, with a slightly lower peak at 1,522 meters to the right of an obvious valley. It is between these two peaks that the road purposefully heads. The gradients along the first 2.5 kilometers are fairly easy and average out at approximately 1 in 25, much more compliant with typical port statistics than a pass, but things do begin to change at this point as the road goes smoothly back into the northeast via a big right-hand bend. At the 3-kilometer point, the gradient kicks up quickly to 1 in 14 as the road starts climbing more earnestly up the western flank of the gorge, which begins narrowing perceptibly at this point. There are 2 fairly sharp right-hand corners along this section, both which clear ravines in the mountainside. To the right, the scenery becomes quite dramatic as steep cliffs hem the road and the river in. Unfortunately, the all-invasive black wattle have smothered local vegetation in the valley, and it will take a great deal of political will and funds to tackle the problem. Here, the steepest part of the pass is reached, where the gradient is at 1 in 9 and soon becomes 1 in 10. The pass ends at the 7.3 kilometer mark at the summit point of 1,519 meters at a prominent 4-way intersection, having climbed 335 vertical meters to produce an average gradient of 1 in 22.